The Gorkha Janmukti Morcha Bandh has brought the Darjeeling hills to a standstill for the 7th day. Thousands of GJM workers today observed a black day and hit the streets with dead bodies of those killed in clashes on Saturday.
Darjeeling continues to boil. Unrest that broke out days ago continues. Normal life was affected the 7th consecutive day as the indefinite bandh called by the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha continued. Condemning the death of 3 Morcha workers who were killed in clashes between security forces and supporters on Saturday, the Gorkha land supporters hit the streets with their bodies in the biggest protest march yet. But even as Darjeeling burned, the political blame game peaked. Home Minister Rajnath Singh again spoke to Bengal Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee, promising all help for the restive region. However, Mamta left no stone unturned to accuse the centre of fomenting unrest, calling it a deeply rooted conspiracy. The hills also saw an ugly face-off between the West Bengal Chief Minister and the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha chief.
मैंने वो लोगों को बताया कि देखिए आज जो हो रहा है एक डीप रूटेड कॉन्स्पिरेसी है। एक दिन में इतना बोमा नहीं आया, इतना बॉम्ब्स नहीं आया, इतना आर्म्स नहीं आया, एक बहुत दिन से जमा हुआ।
म अपील गर्न चाहन्छु सम्पूर्ण नागरिकहरूलाई जुन प्रकारको आज हुँदैछन् हाम्रो गोर्खा जातिमाथि नेपाली जातिमाथि अन्याय र अत्याचार हुँदैछन् यसलाई एकदम मुटुब जवाब दिन सक्नुपर्छ।
It wasn't only Mamta who was targeting the centre. Even the Gorkha Janmukti Morcha, which is the BJP's ally in the region, was upset with the NDA government.
Yes, the MP should have been here. Everyone feels the same, that he should be here in the time of crisis. But in a way, I would say that he should have been here, but he was not here. Very unfortunate.
But are you disappointed with the centre?
Yeah, it is. It is disappointing. I will say my mind. There should be something positive from the part of the centre also.
As the people of the hill town patiently wait for normalcy to return, when will peace return to Darjeeling? Will the government stop its blame game and unite to find a solution? With Indrajit Kundu in Darjeeling, Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, that's the big question. Will politics now be set aside to ensure that normalcy and peace returns to Darjeeling? Well, joining me now for this debate is Dr. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar. She is the Member of Parliament for TMC. Suraj Thapa, Central Committee Member, Gorkha Janmukti Morcha, also Gopal Krishna Agrawal, National Spokesperson of the BJP. Well, let me start with you, Mr. Thapa. It's now been 7 days. You refuse to talk to the state government. That is what the stand that your party has taken. How long till the time the normalcy returns? Remember, there is a tripartite agreement that is already in place. Why now come up with this new demand?
That's totally incorrect. We have been willing for talks, and from day one we have been saying that we are willing to have a dialogue, but it is the state government which is not willing, and the centre has not come up with any proposition unless the state government agrees to it.
So you as of now are clarifying that you are ready to talk to Mamta Banerjee as well and the central government as well?
Absolutely. From day one we have been saying that the dialogue must be there on the issue of Gorkhaland, on the issue of statehood, and all the forces, the police forces which are there, they must be removed. The army does not have any place. I mean, it should not be there. And the police forces, yesterday such an unfortunate incident, 4 people died in police firing, and the state government is just turning a blind eye and saying that there was no police firing. How did the 4 people die? I mean, it was because of police firing.
So is the condition for talks as of now from your party is that first remove the forces and then we'll come to the table, or you are ready for the talks immediately?
Well, if you see all the channels today which were telecasting live from Darjeeling, yes, today's crowd was more than 3-4 times of what it was yesterday, and there was not even a little bit of scrap. Which means that if the police is not there, then there were no forces today. Why? Because the bodies were being allowed.
So you're ready for talks is the most important thing right now. Let me also get in Kakoli Ghosh Dasidar on this. Dr. Dasidar, GJM is saying that they are ready for talks. What's holding the government back? Why can't we immediately have, some sort of talks going on between Mamata Banerjee, the centre, and GJM? Despite, just put aside the blame game as of now, Mamata Banerjee came out, said that they are connected to militant organization. Possibly that is not, a good stepping stone, a good step if you want to have talks and resolve the situation, isn't it?
I agree completely with you. But doesn't one seem to wonder that how they are becoming so violent, and where are they getting so much of confidence to violate the constitution? They have called indefinite bandh, which is unconstitutional, illegal and undemocratic. And who started the agitation? It started on the day of the cabinet meeting. We have all seen stones were pelted, Molotov cocktails were thrown, fire was set on all the police vehicles, media vehicles, and the police personnel. They are poor constables working to save the.
So what are you saying? Who are you accusing of behind this unrest, man? You are saying that it happened on somebody's behest.
It is the GJM. It is the GJM. It is the GJM. The Morcha who are trying to set the hills on fire. They have violated the clause of maintaining law and order in the hills, which is there in the tripartite agreement between the center, state and GJM. And now they are going back on their words. They were supposed to maintain law and order. And
let me get a response. Let me get a response from Mr. Thapa on this before I go to our representative from the BJP, Mr. Thapa.
Either you treat this as a law and order issue, or either you treat it as a political issue. The issue of Gorkhaland has been there for more than 70 years. Gorkhas are the victims here. They are not the perpetrators.
There was peace for the last 7 years, right? There has been an agreement. There was peace for the last 7 years.
Not at all.
Your demand for a larger autonomy was in fact granted, and post that there has been peace since then, isn't it?
Not at all. Not at all. We gave a chance to the peace accord. We said that let there be an autonomous council, but none of the promises were fulfilled, none of the assurances were fulfilled, none of the powers were transferred, no money was given. Then where is the need for to have the autonomous council? So let us do away with it. Let us go on the path of statehood only, because for 70 years our people have suffered. And I mean, somebody is saying that we are the perpetrators of violence. It is the state government who has done this. It is police brutality. It is institutionalized terrorism.
I was hoping that we would be able to move away from this blame game. Mr. Agarwal, where does the central government stand in all this? The Home Minister is trying to speak to certain representatives of GJM. The point also is that today, your ally, the MLA from there, also said that the MP from the place, Mr. S.S. Ahluwalia, is missing. Why is Mr. Ahluwalia not on the ground? I mean, when his constituency is burning, shouldn't he be there on the ground trying to pacify people?
No, that is a different question. But what happens is that we have to go into the basis of this. This is
but first answer the question that I've asked, then of course we will.
Yes, definitely. That's what we were asked.
Should Mr. Ahluwalia been there or not?
No, but Home Minister himself is taking care of the situation. He himself has talked to the Mamata Banerjee, Chief Minister. The central force has been sent there. Actually, what we want is that there should be first peace in the place. There should be no violence, because there is a political unrest in the situation. That unrest has to be taken care of, and then violence, what erupted the violence. First important thing for this agitation is that we should stop the violence, and the inept handling of the situation by the state chief minister is, we think that
Dr.
is a problem.
Do you concede that possibly the state government could have, handled this entire situation a little better? When initially there was so much of turmoil, when there was so much of tension, possibly even at that point of time, rather than blame gaming, calling the GJM names, talking about them being militants and so forth, the state government could have possibly put all their energies to ensure that the law and order and peace returns. Do you think that the handling could have been better?
The handling has been so good that peace returned in the hills of Darjeeling.
4 people have died.
For the last
4 people have died yesterday, and that is the handling.
Let us speak. I'll give you a chance.
The tourist footfall has increased. There has been development. A super specialty hospital has been formed.
Where none of it is there. It's not there. It's all.
Ma'am, I'm talking about what is happening right now. You're saying tourist footfall have increased. There are thousands of tourists who are standing there. As of now, they have not been able to come out. I'm talking about the situation right now.
You talk. You talk. You talk. If you're disturbing, you talk.
Ma'am, you'll have to answer the question that I'm asking rather than losing your cool. I'm very politely asking you a question about the handling of the government. I'm not talking about what the Trinamool Congress has done or the government has done as of now.
Why are you interrupting?
Well, you'll have to answer the question that I'm asking, ma'am.
Why are you interrupting?
Because you're not answering what I'm asking.
See, for the last 35 years, before Trinamool Congress government came to power, we couldn't go to Darjeeling. I am from Darjeeling district, basically, ancestral home is there. We couldn't visit there because there was no law and order. After Trinamool Congress came to power, Chief Minister had gone. She has, for the benefit of the hill people, she has made super specialty hospital. She has made the state secretariat a branch over there. So things were very good. We were handling
Dr. Dasidar, can I now interject, ma'am? My question to you is not about what happened in the last 35 years or 70 years or how long is the demand. I'm talking about 7 days of unrest in Darjeeling, and I'm talking about whether the state government could have handled better right from the time when this situation erupted.
They have not received the money. Just now the honorable gentleman there has been, just now the honorable gentleman mentioned that they did not get the money. The central government has given them 200 crores every year.
It's only the central government money which has come. That's all, nothing from the state.
The accountability was not there. When audit was made, when audit was being made of the money, utilization certificate.
I think she's just trying to sidestep the issue that yesterday 4 people have died and you're just trying to sidestep the issue, that's all.
For the money.
If I may answer,
the government has done very well in maintaining law and order. It is the GJM which is disturbing peace in Darjeeling.
Dr. Dasidar, okay, I think you've made your point, ma'am. Let me get Mr. Thapa to respond to this. The sense that I get hearing Dr. Dasidar is that still there is so much anger, still there is so much blame game that is going on, that the law and order in the prevailing situation has taken a backseat. It is only about blaming GJM or the BJP for what is happening. There may be fault on both sides, fault line may be on both sides, but important as of now, one Mr. Thapa would be to ensure that find out how those 4 people died, and number 2, to come to some sort of an agreement so that peace could return. There are people stranded there for such a long time.
Absolutely. You see, 4 people who died, there are people. I mean, the TMC may be doing politics here, but it is our people who have died, and there must be a human rights probe into it. You know, police has fired right into their chests. They have not targeted below, they have not targeted somewhere else, they have just shot them through the heart. How can the police shoot their own people? And for what? They were not carrying any arms, they were not having anything. I mean, if you mean if they are responding back, if they are retaliating just by throwing stones and all, they should not retaliate. If police is firing tear gas and all, they should just accept it and let them shoot them in their heads. What kind of situation is this? This is absolute police brutality.
The state government has completely denied that there was any police firing. Before we move on,
one more thing. Let me tell you one more thing. The police has cut off all internet services. They have blacked out local media. I mean, what kind of a democracy are we living in?
These possibly are certain measures that usually are taken when the situation is out of hand. But let me also very quickly play for our viewers a few reactions that we have got from the protesters. People on the ground, those who have been protesting for the last 7 days. Of course, initial 4-5 days were violent. Now a situation, at least a protest, seemed to be coming to a peaceful mean. How long is it going to go? Nobody knows. Let's just listen in and then we'll just go right back to our guest.
जिस तरीका से यहाँ का वातावरण बिगड़ गया, इसमें सबभन्दा मुख्य दायित्व हमारे ये जो मुख्यमंत्री है उसका है। अब ये बोल रहा है, प्रोवोकेशन दे रहा है टीवी में दे रहा है कि वो गोली पुलिस ने नहीं चलाया। पुलिस ने नहीं चलाया तो जो बुलेट है वो बुलेट को जांच कीजिए।
हम लोग को गोरखालैंड चाहिए, इसके लिए तो हम लोग तो आगे बढ़ेंगे ना। हम लोग वैसा नहीं करेंगे। ये सब बीच में टीएमसी का हाथ है, डूंगा पत्थर वत्थर सब गिराता है, ये सब टीएमसी का हाथ है। अब सब गोजामुख को सब उसका सर में आ रहा है।
नरेंद्र मोदी से ये विनती है, हमें गोरखालैंड चाहिए। हमें बंगाल में बहुत अन्य अत्याचार हो रहा है, हमें डंडा मार रहा है, लेडीज को लात मार रहा है। हम भारत का है, हम भारत का गोरखा है।
All right, those were the voices from the ground. Let me just get Mr. Agarwal. Mr. Agarwal, the accusation on the BJP right now, of course, from the state government is that at a time when the situation is so volatile, you're trying to fish in troubled waters. The Congress, the TMC have been saying that every time in whichever state BJP wants to do well or are planning to come out massively, on the ground, the work starts with violence, and that's an example in Darjeeling as well.
No, this is not the correct story of the situation. Actually, as you said yourself, said that there was a peace in the for 7 years over the accord that had been. We in our manifesto have also said that we support smaller states. Therefore, our position is very clear. The question is now why this violence happened. We know there was a demand for a Gorkha land. We know there is a agitation in the mind of those people. So actually, why this?
No, the agitation started on imposition of the Bengali language.
Absolutely.
The state government came out and clarified that it is not imposing it; it's an optional language. But it has
been optional from 1960.
Listen, so what's the problem now?
No,
the state government has clarified it's only optional. So why?
So this is actually
the charge on you as well. The charge on you as well, sir, is that you utilize this bahana, you utilize this issue
not at all.
It is the violence
just to try and once again fan this separate statehood demand.
15th May, Education Minister Partha Chatterjee came out with a specific press conference saying that we are coming with a law. Mamta Banerjee said so later on. They are coming out with a law that is going to make some adjustment in the language policy. Now, Bengali has already been an optional language since 1960. So all we are saying is let status quo continue. But you are bringing a new law on the lines of Kerala, on the lines of Karnataka.
I'll just come back to you. I'll just come back to you. Dr. Dasidar, is it not time possibly that the state government could have come out, clarified even further that we are not coming out with anything like this? Bengali has always been optional, because that started the entire agitation, isn't it?
Let there be status quo.
This is just an excuse.
No,
they are actually
let us speak, sir. Let us speak, and then
in
you
the hills
respond.
of Darjeeling because there was mismanagement of funds. There was mismanagement of funds, and an area where there is only one MP or two MLAs cannot be a state. But we can always talk. Instead of going into agitation, instead of going into violence, there can always be talk, and nobody has said there is no law that is going to Bengal, the one language is going to become compulsory. Nepalese Ramrocha, Gorkha Ramrocha. But why they are saying that we are against them? They are misunderstanding or being made to misunderstand by some force who wants Bengal to be disturbed. So this is not something that they are doing on their own.
Actually, this is not
They
the
want to
correct
create
picture.
violence.
Ma'am, if I may
This is
point
not
out,
the correct picture.
Gentlemen, I'm going to come back and you will get a chance to respond. All right, welcome back, and you are with India Today. The topic that we are discussing right now is what now can be done. Who was responsible was the first section. We heard both the TMC and also the GJM and BJP talking about, or possibly still blaming about, why the violence in fact came down at Darjeeling. Now, I would like to focus on this part about what actually can be done so that all the various components, all the stakeholders can come on a table and try and work out some sort of a solution. Now, let me start with Dr. Dasidar. Dr. Dasidar, if you could point us, what is it that the state government now would want to do, now would want to give, so that there can be some sort of peace, some sort of status quo, an agreement with GJM, with all stakeholders, so that peace can, come back to Darjeeling? Solutions.
The state government of West Bengal, particularly Honorable Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee, has tried her best. She has visited the hills number of times. She has done everything for the development and she was always eager to discuss with them. In fact, on record, you have these visuals in which the GJM leader Bimal Gurung had come and spoken to her. They had extended khadas and good wishes and everything was going on smoothly. We want the Darjeeling to smile and the people of Darjeeling to be happy, and they will get all sorts of support. Millions of people in Darjeeling are getting subsidized food. The children in the school are getting good education. They are getting the cycles to go to the schools.
Alright, so I have a last final minute left. I would get Mr. Thapa. Mr. Thapa, what is it that as of now you are ready to concede or discount to the government, sit with them face to face, sort out the issue, because this situation cannot prevail as it is, for a period of time?
For more than 70 years now, I mean, even more than that, our people have suffered a lot. We have not had the kind of development that is required for the place. We have not had the facilities. Our people have suffered a lot. So what we have always sought is a statehood, and it is totally justified.
As of now, short of statehood, what can be done?
No, short of state, there is nothing called short of statehood. As of now, everybody should come to the dialogue table, because it has happened in the past. We have talked about the issue, and let us thrash out all these issues, because we have a point of view. And I would appeal to the media that this voice should be carried sympathetically. Why do you see it only through the prism of violence, which has happened for a day?
Out of time.
When,
last 10 seconds to you, sir. The centre has an important role. What would the BJP do?
Centre will support the state government to curb the violence. The first and foremost important at the point of time is to curb violence and sympathetically look into those demands, because it is the divisive policy which the Mamta sometimes government follows, which is creating problems.
All right. So the important thing as of now, and possibly the only conclusion that we can draw, is that all sides are willing to talk. That's a good sign. That should be something that should be taken off from here. And of course, the centre, the state government and GJM need to sit together to sort this issue out. Otherwise, the people of Darjeeling and the people who in fact are there are the ones, those who are actually suffering due to the politics on either side. Thank you so much for joining us.